All right. Hey, trust you are doing well. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and holiday season with your family. I wanted to just shoot and share kind of a number one lesson for the year in 2023. And really, as I look back and I curate with our team, what we've worked on, what's been the most important things, what's been the greatest lesson. And realistically, I think part of what I've seen is what's possible with asymmetrical risk, with the rise of what would be shadow forces. And what I mean by that is there is political populists that have now risen up, that have entered into changing the market dynamic. So as an example, you and I, or a buyer and seller, would come together and set economic terms for what we would say the value of a property or an investment is. And what we've seen, unfortunately, is in areas of the country that there's a rise of populist politicians that have become a shadow influence, a shadow force that begins to affect the outcome of our investing. Now, the sad thing as it relates to this country is that they're no longer operating in areas that oftentimes are the rules of law, but they're trading in a different currency. So you and I, we invest in the opportunity, we invest with actual capital, we invest with an economic output and or return. They are trading in the currency of populism and votes. And so they don't have a vested political interest in what they're doing. They don't have a vested capital interest in what they're doing. They have a political or populist interest. What I mean by that is we've seen in certain counties that we've dealt with that here it is 3 years removed from the pandemic. And now again, don't be mistaken, the federal government stepped in, and for over a year and a half, from March of 2020 to October of 21, they suspended eviction throughout the country on the moratorium. And there's been subsequent local municipalities, judicial activists, as well as political populists that have implemented policies that have, to this day, even now, continued to delay evictions anywhere from 6, 7, 8, even 12 to 14 months, depending on the particular county and the particular hurdles that they've put in place. And so what does it mean? I mean, we sold a property this past year in one of those counties, and directly across from us was an owner who was a previous presidential political nominee, longtime senator, longtime, wealthy, political, powerful, connected person. They ultimately ended up just now in the last 2 weeks contracting their property for basically what the debt was on it, because of what had been going on and their inability to overcome it in that particular county. And so I say that because when you take a look at it's changed the dynamic, it's changed some of the elements in those particular areas. And unfortunately, I would say this populist politician or political activist is on the rise in this country. And so what does that mean? It means that, you have to be aware of this. It's no longer just a safe assumption of, okay, I'm investing in the buyer and seller, we come in agreement on these terms. You've got this other party that's now at the table, and they're trading in a currency that's based on populism and vote getting versus the impact of economics. And again, unfortunately, what I've seen is they're not even really concerned with the beneficial outcome of what happens to the people that live there. They're more concerned with the optics of it. And you see this also playing out on national fronts, but we also see this now on the local front. So what does it all mean? It means that, as you go forward, and specifically for us as our team, we go forward investing. We've been doing this now for well over a year and a half since we saw this, but it's really become even more egregious as of late because there's no real progress that they've made in curing any of these things, and they don't have a real reason. And what it is, it's about a haves versus have-nots. They've taken this position that's populist to take from the haves and give to the have-nots. And it really is a damaging thing, because it creates an asymmetrical risk, meaning you are against this virtually immovable object, that they are in control. They're not operating from a standard economic base of reality. They're operating from what they can get from the populist perceptions. And so it damages or completely changes the risk profile of an investment. So, going forward, we have to look at really identifying the local municipality. Are they judicial, meaning the court system, judicial activists, or do they genuinely seek to follow the law as they should? What is their political leaning? And then even in the local city municipal level of either the county commission or city commission, we have to look at to see what is their political bent. Are they of this political populist mindset? Because again, if they are, we can't really be engaged there because of what kind of asymmetrical risk exposure we face. And so I want to just, share with you the greatest lesson I've learned, that it's these shadow forces that are creeping in. It's not only a national political level, but it's a local level, and it affects how and where you should invest. And so this is something that's super critical, both for us as a team in our current investing, but also as we go forward into 2024 with a lot of the opportunities that we face. So I trust that you have a wonderful and great New Year's, and have a blessed and victorious week, for this is the week God has ordained for you.